18-year-old girl missing for 13 years is found. Brittany Drexel cold case. In today's video, we'll be looking at the most heartbreaking incident about the disappearance of Brittany Drexel, a 17-year-old soccer star from Rochester, New York, who vanished on April 25, 2009 while on spring break with friends in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Drexel left her hotel and was never heard from again. Years later, in May 2022, police in the area arrested Raymond Moody, a 62-year-old registered sex offender on suspicion of murder, kidnapping, and first-degree criminal sexual conduct. Moody confessed to the crime and gave police the location of possible remains. The remains of Britney were discovered a few days later in a wooded area in Georgetown, about 33 miles from where she was last seen. Something happened that shocked a community and claimed the life of a gifted teen. The Grand Strand in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, was a well-liked and generally safe destination for families and spring breakers until one night when Brittany Drexel, then 17 years old, left the hotel and was never seen or heard of again. Now, 7 years later, the FBI may have discovered the solution to that dilemma. There are those who are aware of every detail. However, what one jailhouse informant is telling the federal authorities is unfathomable. People.com posted an article where it says, authorities in South Carolina have recovered the long-missing remains of Brittany Drexel, the 17-year-old New York girl who vanished while on a 2009 spring break trip to Myrtle Beach. Georgetown County Sheriff Carter Weaver announced during a Monday press conference that Drexel's body was found on May 11th, and that police have charged 62-year-old Raymond Moody with murder. It further added in detail that Drexel's parents were present for Monday's announcement. This is truly a mother's worst nightmare, Dawn Drexel told reporters. I am mourning my beautiful daughter today, as I have for the last 13 years. We are much closer to the peace that I have been hoping for. In addition to the murder charge, Moody is also charged with kidnapping and sexual misconduct. According to records, Brittany Drexel's body was found in May 2022, and among the remains was a nose ring, a contact lens, and long hair. Raymond Moody had previously confessed to raping and killing Drexel, a 17-year-old Rochester, New York resident who was visiting Myrtle Beach for spring break in April 2009. This past May, following his admission, Moody led investigators to a piece of private property in Pickerel Road in Georgetown, where he claimed Drexel's body located close to a dirt road about 4 feet underground. Documents state that it took detectives several days to discover her remains there, some 12 miles from the scene where Moody claims he killed Drexel by strangling her. Hours were spent by the FBI and the Georgetown County Sheriff's Office clearing land and digging trenches. After discovering what appeared to be a human bone, investigators spent the next 18 hours trying to recover all of the remains. No organs, muscle, or soft tissue could be seen in Drexel's body, which was essentially reduced to a skeleton, according to documents. She had long, straight hair covering her skull, and one blue contact lens was in her eye. One silver nose piercing was discovered by investigators, but no clothing. In this confession, Moody acknowledged strangling Drexel, but according to the documents, the forensics team was unable to examine the throat for signs of strangulation due to the erosion and decomposition. Within 48 hours, authorities were able to confirm that the remains were actually those of Drexel after sending them for forensic identification. They did this by comparing dental records and DNA. According to a case report, the discovery of Drexel's remains verified Moody's account, and he was subsequently charged with murder, criminal sexual misconduct, and kidnapping. The judge gave Moody a life sentence for first-degree murder, for kidnapping, raping, and strangling the 17-year-old high school soccer star who wanted to be a nurse or cosmologist. According to the Democrat and Chronicle, Moody was also given consecutive 30-year sentences for kidnapping and criminal sexual misconduct. Drexel's stepfather, Chad Drexel, who together with her mother, Dawn Plecken, searched tirelessly for the teen, said in his victim statement before Moody was sentenced that he had always held out hope that she would one day be found. He said, holding back tears, 13 years later, I found out the horrible and disgusting way she was murdered, according to WMBF and WHSV. Plecken, who never gave up looking for her daughter, said, I hope you suffer in prison for the rest of your useless life. A nightmare for spring break. Drexel's parents have been wondering what happened to the departing junior at Gage Chili High School in Chile, New York for more than 10 years. On April 22, 2009, Drexel went to Myrtle Beach with some friends for spring break without her parents' knowledge. Plekan previously told People, "I didn't know she was going. She was upset with me on the day that she left because I had refused her request to go. There was no adults going. I don't know who these kids are, and I don't feel comfortable with it," I remarked. Plekan said, "I told her I just felt something was going to happen to her. I simply felt it." Drexel visited a friend who was staying at the Blue Water Resort on Ocean Boulevard on April 25, 2009, after leaving her hotel by herself. Ocean Boulevard is a busy thoroughfare in Myrtle Beach. According to authorities, she was last seen leaving the hotel at around 8:45 p.m., wearing a black and white tank top, shorts, and flip-flops. She informed her boyfriend back home via text message that she and her friends were returning to the Bar Harbor, a motor inn located a mile and a half down the road. She vanished without a trace. The day after she vanished near the South Santee River between McClellanville and Georgetown, her cell phone sent its last known signal, according to authorities. Finally, a solution. Local law enforcement and the FBI have been looking for her for years, holding press conferences along the way to solicit assistance from the public. Her body was finally discovered in South Carolina's woods in May of this year, when police apprehended Moody that month after he led them to the location of where he buried Drexel's body. Information about what happened to her when she vanished was finally made public. When Drexel was last seen in 2009, Moody was residing in Georgetown, South Carolina, a motel an hour from Myrtle Beach, according to the authorities. Authorities claim that Moody abducted Drexel as she was walking by herself along the Myrtle Beach boardwalk. According to Assistant Solicitor Scott Hickson in court, starting in 2019, authorities were able to track Drexel's phone, demonstrating that she moved from walking on the strip to riding in a car and ending up in the Georgetown County region. The investigation reached a turning point in April 2022 when Moody's girlfriend, Angel Voss, consented to assist the FBI, wear a wire, and speak with Moody about what had happened to Drexel, according to WMBF. According to Hickson, according to WMBF, Moody admitted what he had done to Drexel on May 5, 2022. According to Hickson, who spoke to the Democrat and Chronicle, he told authorities that while driving in Myrtle Beach, he and Voss spotted Drexel and invited her to join them for a party. His claim that she entered the vehicle voluntarily was refuted by her family, according to the newspaper. He claimed to have driven Drexel and Voss to a campground in Georgetown County, where they indulged in marijuana smoking. Moody declared his desire to have sex with Drexel after Voss left. He raped her after she declined. According to Hickson, he strangled her, wrapped her body in a blanket, and hid her in the woods out of fear that he might be prosecuted for raping Drexel. Voss informed her that Drexel's friends had picked her up when he came back. Later, according to Hickson, he went back to the campsite, moved Drexel's body, and buried it somewhere else, according to the Democrat and Chronicle. The Democrat and Chronicle reports that Moody, a registered sex offender, served 21 years in prison for kidnapping and raping a 9-year-old girl in 1983 in California. The Drexel's family reaction to the guilty plea and sentence is mixed. According to Chad Drexel, neither he nor Dawn or her blood father will ever be able to walk Brittany down the aisle. She will never be able to see my granddaughter or her incredible niece because they were taken from us. With that, we have come to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. And guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also press the bell icon so you can watch the upcoming videos. Also, share your thoughts in the comment box.